All right, I had to get on here real quick because holy shit. I had to get my instant reactions to what just happened. Yeah, Luka Doncic to the Lakers. For Anthony Davis. This is in my lifetime the most shocking trade in sports I've ever seen. There was no rumors of this, no rumblings, no nothing. The big star power, probably the top four player in the NBA, just getting traded midseason out of the blue to the Lakers. I was getting ready to wind down a little bit. You know, we just had one of the most shocking Royal Rumbles of all time, and then an hour later, that just is blown over because we have the most shocking trade in sports history. Yeah, where is the full? I'm trying to look this up right now. My, oh my God, just, oh my God. Yeah, so it's Mavericks trade Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. I think that both of those, Kleber and Morris, are expiring for AD, Christie, and a 2029 pick, and then Utah gets a couple random. So I think they get like Jalen Hood, Shafino, and a couple second round picks. Yeah. So a couple days ago, like last week, Anthony Davis had that sit down with Shams where he said, he doesn't want to play center. He wants to get another center. Well, a week later, he then gets traded out of the blue to the Mavericks, who have like Lively, who's coming back from injury. They got Gafford. They have a couple other bigs. So Anthony Davis isn't going to have to worry about playing center anymore, but I imagine he didn't think he was going to get traded. Much less for Luka Doncic. Jesus Christ. And then for the other side, it appears that, at least all the reporting is, that the Mavericks really didn't want to pay up Luka Doncic for his Supermax. Dumb reason why. He's 25 years old, one of the elite players in the sport, and you didn't want to pay him. And you approached the Lakers about their aging superstar, who is injury prone, Anthony Davis. This is my instant reactions. Holy crap. So, yeah, this season so far, Anthony Davis and Luka are currently both out with injuries, but Luka is averaging usual stats, 28, 8, and 8 on good efficiency. AD is currently 26, 12, and 3 assists, 2 blocks. For what this means for both teams, because Utah really is just here for salary purposes. They didn't even really get much out of this deal. So I'm not going to care about them. I'm going to start with the Mavericks. This is going to devastate them long term. Now you have your core piece. Let me look at the Mavericks roster now, because you have your starting point. You have Kyrie now is going to move down to the full-time point. You have Clay. You have, oh my God, well, I have hiccups. You have Exum, AD, and now whoever starts at center, whether it's PJ, Dwight, Gafford, Derek Lively, and long term. So now you're basically your core players kind of your core 5 players are going to be an aging Kyrie, who's always injury prone, always has been, an aging Anthony Davis, injury prone, especially recently, an aging injury prone Clay, who's older than all of them, and you also have Gafford, Lively, and PJ Washington, who's also injury prone as well. This move is win now, and by win now, I mean this year. Mavericks are pushing all their chips in for this year, but with this roster, this is just probably going to be a first round out, maybe a play-in team. They're already looking like they were going to get that anyways, and the only reason they had these championship aspirations is because of Luka Doncic. Now, they lost that. You didn't get much, and all they got, because Max Christie, young piece, but what's his potential? At best, he's going to be a decent starter. At best, a decent starter. And you're going to get a 2029 first, and now the Lakers got Luka. Who knows that pick may not be as high as it's not as valuable as it once was. 2029 Lakers pick seemed very valuable asset because it looked like with the aging stars the Lakers had, in 2029 they could be bad, right? But now that they get a younger superstar, in 2029 that pick could be in the 20s, right? You know, it's now that pick, just because of the star they just acquired, is no longer as valuable. And that's all the Mavericks got for one of the best players in the league. Arguably the best player in the league. Just went to the finals last year. So that's all you're going to get. And within probably 2 years, this roster's done. They're cooked. You have a 31-year-old AD. Gotta find what his I think he just signed a long-term contract. Where ESPN, help me out here, man. Help me out. I'll just have to go on Basketball Reference or something. So 80s, but obviously older, but Kyrie's also older. Klay Thompson's on his last legs, quite literally. I'm just reading right now, they didn't even tell LeBron this was happening. Nobody knew. Nobody knew this was happening. It's a shock to everybody. LeBron didn't know, AD didn't know, Luka didn't know. Nobody else in the league knew. The Mavericks didn't even shop him around, Luka around, see what they could get from other teams. They just went straight for Anthony Davis. Would have made more sense, honestly, would have been trading Kyrie for AD. That's a shocker I could see happening. It would make sense, kind of, for both teams. This makes no sense for Dallas. Makes all the sense in the world for the Lakers. On the anniversary, and I just saw this, on the anniversary of the Lakers trading Kwame Brown for Paul Gasol, which won them 2 championships, they now get they trade a aging star in Anthony Davis for a young superstar in Luka. It's not the same type of trade because, they traded nothing for something. But, they trade kind of an aging, not as good asset for maybe one of the most valuable assets in the entire NBA. So right now, looking at AD's contract, he has another year after, or he has 2 more years left on his deal, and then a player option for the 2027-28 season, which is $62 million. He's likely going to, he just signed this. So next 2 years, he's going to be, the cap hit is 54, 58, and then the player option 62. He's going to accept that $62 million. So you're until 2028 offseason, you're going to have AD under your belt for a lot of money. At that point in time, he'll be 34 years old, and with his body, with his, I don't imagine that's going to be that great of an asset. Trying to look up Kyrie's now. Yeah, so Kyrie's also, he runs until next season. After this season, Kyrie has a player option. So, and with Kyrie's just everything, he could, who knows what Kyrie could do. He's one of the most unpredictable player in sports. He could resign, he could leave, he could demand a trade, he could retire. I mean, straight up, he could just retire. $41 million next season, or $4 million this season. Oh, he has a player option after the end of the season. So after this season, right now, Kyrie could decline that player option, which he might do anyways, hit the open market, and then who knows at that point? All bets are off around Kyrie. He could go anywhere besides like Brooklyn. That's the only place he couldn't go. Can't go back to Brooklyn. So the Mavericks could genuinely be stuck with Anthony Davis, a couple of mid-tier starters, and an old-ass Klay Thompson. That could realistically be what the Mavericks could be looking at. And they could go from a finals team with all the potential in the world to keep going, one of the young, bright superstars of the league, and in less than a year, you trade that guy, and now you have one of the oldest rosters in the league that will not be competing for a championship. They're going to be competing for a good playoff spot. Maybe they can win a playoff series. This roster is not going to win a championship. This roster, I guarantee you, will not even compete in the West. They're not going to make it out of the second round unless injuries happen to other teams. I genuinely do not understand what they're thinking. And then now looking at the Lakers. Let's go to the Lakers now. All right, let's find that there. Where do we go? I should probably use the NBA app, not the... Let's call that app. All right, here we go. So, right now, the Lakers, what their starting lineup's probably going to look like here. And I'm looking at this roster. I don't think the Lakers are done. Their current centers on the roster, they were in the market for a center. Obviously throughout the season, they just acquired Dorian Finney-Smith as well. It can't be too long ago. Yeah, not too long ago they just acquired him from the Nets. So their current center rotation at the moment, they started Jackson Hayes tonight. They did just acquire Max Kleber in the trade, but he's not going to be a actual real center option. They got Christian Coloco, who is a rookie out of Arizona. Has he even played? Is he a two-way player? Stats. Yeah, he's not a rookie. Okay, he was on the Raptors a couple seasons ago. Okay, so but yeah, he's into the bench type of guy. Maybe you get something out of him. And then you also have Jared Vanderbilt, kind of an undersized center, but a very good, kind of big. Christian Wood as well. He's kind of into the bench type of guy. He's kind of washed now. So you will still need a big. I imagine they're going to definitely look hard. They're going to hit hard for a big man out there. But at the current point in time, their starting lineups going to be Luka at the 1, Reeves at the 2. Looking at this, I imagine Braun's going to keep playing the 3, Rui at the 4, and at the 5, Hayes at the moment, but I could also see a world where Vanderbilt gets a start in at the 5 as well. And yeah, the Lakers right out the gate, they didn't have a lot of assets because they traded a lot of draft picks in the Russ trades and the AD trades. But now they have one of the youngest stars in the NBA, one of the youngest stars in sports, in Luka Doncic. You have other young assets that look pretty good. Rui Hachimura is a good asset to have. A lot of teams will want him. Austin Reeves, 26 years old as well. A lot of teams want him as well. Jared Vanderbilt, it's a good asset to have. You know, what else? Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good assets now at the gate. That's a good thing to build around. But they're gonna still need a big. And let me look this up. Bigs on. But yeah, so trying to look at now what could even be on the trade block. For the Lakers, maybe Clint Capella from, the Hawks. That could be something. Nikola Vucevic, almost forgot about him. Imagine, I don't know how the salary is really going to work, but I think that could work. Yeah, I'm just looking at the standings. I'm starting looking at the standings now. Yeah, the Hornets. Who they got on their roster? Cause I thought there was somebody on the trade block. Oh yeah, he got traded. It was Richards got traded to the Suns. So never mind. Richards is not going to be a Laker. Yeah, imagine Capella, Vucevic are going to be two names to watch out to the Lakers. Yeah. Wow. 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 Just so immediately, this trade for the Lakers, if they can manage to get at least one big, like a starting big, have Hayes be your backup big, I imagine this has to be the favorite for the championship. I know having to bring in a star like this, having to basically just rebuild your whole freaking plan because, like, holy crap, you got one of the best players in the league now. But I think LeBron and Luka could fit in very nicely. Have Bron be more of an off-ball type of guy. Or maybe Luka be off-ball. They could go back and forth either way. But Bron doesn't have to deal with as much of the ball carrying, ball handling as you have to. You can focus more on the defensive end and being that free safety that he always loves to be. And so, yeah, I'm sorry that I keep stumbling saying but I'm just genuinely at a loss for words in this trade. But yeah, this could easily be the like immediately, this is going to be a championship level team. This is a championship favorite, especially they get another center. This is a title favorite team in LA. Okay, here we go. CBS Sports had this article. Centers they could get. DeAndre Ayton, I don't know if the Lakers are going to want him. I think they're going to want more of a defensive guy. Or like an athletic guy, kind of like a better version of what Jackson Hayes currently is. Nick Claxton, I could see that. I could see that with Claxton. Maybe give Hachimura back to the Nets or whatever. That trade could work. Vucevic, even though he's not really a defensive guy, I think he's just a good fit maybe. Just get enough offense. Robert Williams, I think, could actually be something. I could really see that happening. Yeah, Nurkic on the Suns. Imagine maybe whenever Butler gets traded, maybe Lakers get involved. Maybe try and acquire Nurkic for that. Hey, the Jazz just were part of the trade. Maybe you can acquire for Walker Kessler. I imagine the Jazz are not going to want to do that, but maybe. Mitchell Robinson has been on the trade block a little bit. Yeah. Wow. So, kind of 20 minutes into this, just, yeah, this, I thought this deadline could be crazy. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's going to get traded before this deadline's over. He's not going to play out the rest of the season with the Heat. But never in my wildest dreams did I think. I mean, everybody makes jokes, right? The Lakers are always in for a star. Them and the Knicks, right? Anytime a star is on the block or anytime a player's on the block, Lakers just always involved for some reason. Like, Zion's on the trade block at the moment. People will make jokes, say, maybe they could get Zion. There's some people taking seriously. Maybe they could try and get Zion. Obviously, it's not going to happen. I thought it would be a terrible fit. But they just got Luka Doncic out of nowhere. The Lakers, remember what's up. The Lakers have now gone, think about their eras, They had LeBron and AD. They had like a couple year stretch where things were rough, but they still had Kobe as the face of the franchise. Before then, they had Shaq with them. They had a couple years where after Magic's retirement, but they had Magic in the Showtime Lakers. They had Kareem holding the fort down, and quickly before then they had Elgin. They'd just gone star for star for star, and now for the next maybe 10 years plus, they're gonna have Luka Doncic. Jeez. But yeah, currently in the West right now, the standings are the Thunder at the 1, Rockets, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers, Wolves, Mavs, Suns, Kings have the tiebreaker over the Warriors, and then sitting out there in the 12 and 13 seeds are the Spurs and the Blazers. So for potential playoff type matchups, the Lakers, the Nuggets have been their boogeyman the last couple years. Now it's going to be interesting, a whole different team. You don't have necessarily center to stop Jokic, but AD wasn't doing that anyways. Maybe now the Lakers look at this and say, hey, we can match the Nuggets by just having just pure firepower. They have a good offense, but we have firepower too. We have that too. Maybe they can do that. I think in terms of a series, they're looking at the teams that they could match up with. I think they're clearly would be favored over the Grizzlies, the Clippers for sure, the Wolves, and the Mavericks, Suns, and Kings. They're for sure favorites. I think they're also probably would be favored over the Rockets. Right now, the West just looks like it will come down to the Thunder and the Lakers. And the Nuggets, I think, also in the running as well. They always are with Jokic. And I was also thinking, people, the Warriors supposed to be win now mode. And they didn't even know Luka was on the market. I guarantee you the Warriors would have given a huge offer for Luka. They could pair Luka and Curry up. But no, I don't get it. I do not get it. So I'm going to look at, I don't think there's that much more to say. It's, the Lakers are just going to look for another big before the deadline's up. They're going to have to find a big, and then they're going to find a big, and they're just going to go from there. It's Luka and LeBron. There's not much more you need to say. That's going to be this team. They have depends on, it's going to come down to that, and then who they manage to keep. With these trades now, because you're going to probably lose either Reeves or Hachimura, and probably some more assets as well. I wouldn't do, if I'm the Lakers, I'm not going to do the mistake they pulled off with Russ and then having to, gut your bench and your depth for a star player. I would just look for a good tier starter, trade one of Hachimura or Austin Reeves, and then go from there. Just get a good quality center. Not have to go for a star or nothing. Just get a quality guy. And that's what Lakers are. Mavericks, they're probably just going to stay pat now. This roster looks pretty complete. They're not going to be bad this season. Not going to be bad, but long term, this is a terrible move. And now I'm going to look at the rest of the NBA now. Moving on from that, CBS article. So Jimmy Butler will get traded. God knows what. It's probably going to be Phoenix, but there's a lot of other places they're looking for him. Who knows with Jimmy Butler to trade? Yeah, I think Phoenix is likely because that's just where he wants to go for some reason. But the Warriors have been in contact. I saw. So maybe I think he's just going to get traded out west. Yeah. Other guys, De'Aaron Fox. I'm not buying that. I don't think Fox is going to leave Sacramento. I think that would be a really bad move for Sacramento. They just now finally got pretty good, and I would just keep that momentum going. Keep De'Aaron Fox as happy as long as possible. This has been the guy that has rejuvenated your franchise, brought you life, and you don't want to go back to another rebuild for basically my whole life up until like 2022. Zion, I don't think Zion gets traded at the deadline. I think it goes to the offseason. I do think in the offseason, depends on what pick they get. The Pelicans, I think, get rid of Zion. And who knows to where by the offseason's time. Charlotte's been in the running. I think if Zion gets traded at the deadline, it won't be to a playoff team because I think it would be to either one of the teams on the preliminaries, on the outside looking in, or one of the bottom feeders like Charlotte. But Zion Charlotte would be a terrible option. You pair Melo and Zion. Both guys are injury prone, but if they play, they're fantastic. So I think with Charlotte, it's just what you have to lose when it comes to Zion. Like, hey, what the hell? Might as well try it. Get try and get a modern day version of Paul and Griffin. What other guys? Brandon Ingram's has been some smoke. He could be to the Hawks. I do maybe buy that. I don't know who we could trade to the Pelicans, but he is on an expiring contract. BI, hey, we're on one of the longest losing streaks in the league. So, 8 in a row after tonight. Might as well try something new with Atlanta, see what's up. Now that Johnson's out for the season, but you don't want to trade something valuable for just a rental. Brandon Ingram. I'd maybe get rid of Bogdanovich for salary purposes. Mo Gay and a draft pick. Probably. I would keep Daniels, obviously. I'd keep a couple guys. You may have to throw in DeAndre Hunter, but I wouldn't want to do that if I'm the Hawks. But I'd probably get a lot of you probably have to get rid of him. Zach LaVine. I don't think Chicago's going to do it. They're never going to make that freaking trade. Bradley Beal, he'll probably be part of the Jimmy Butler deal at some point. My computer has died. And so, what a night. We had the most shocking Royal Rumble of all time with Jey Uso winning it. That nobody saw coming. And now we have the most shocking trade maybe in sports history. So with that all being said, I wanted to give as much of my honest reaction as I could, on the cuff, as it's happening. big thoughts. And so, yeah, thank you all. It is good. The NBA had a ratings problem. Now I think everybody's going to be tuning in. Adam Silver, you son of a bitch, you've done it again. This is, I think this is honestly how they save the ratings, is have this big of a move and just see what the hell now is going to happen with the Lakers. The Lakers are already one of the most watched teams ever. They had LeBron anyways. Now they get Luka. Yeah, they have solved their ratings problem. So thank you all. Good night.